everybody, Stephanie here from the Machine Gun Nest with another legal update. I don't know if you've seen or not, but Justin Trudeau of Canada has decided unilaterally to freeze the ability to purchase, transfer, do anything like that with a handgun. Now, what's scary to me about this is that this sentiment is being so praised here in the United States. And Justin Trudeau is just such a hypocrite because he's only moved by this shooting that happened here in Texas. It is a tragedy. It is something to be addressed, but he wasn't moved enough by all of the other tragedies, all of the other children killed all over the world all year, but he found something convenient to exercise, his authoritarian power that he has. The reason I'm bringing this up is not because I think something like that could happen in the United States right now, but while browsing the internet, I did find an article on the New York Times that was published today, and today's June 2nd, if you're watching this at a different date. An article that really concerned me because I see it being praised all over the place, and it's entitled, "Why Canada Races on Gun Policy When America Crawls." Now, some people look at this and they're praising Canada for their fast action because they like the outcome of it, but they're not realizing that the method in which he enacted this was basically through an authoritarian power grab. And they're praising that, and they're not even caring that the method in which he has done this is undercutting their own freedoms. Now, as we know, Canadians don't enjoy the same freedoms we have here in the United States of America, and I'm thankful for our freedoms, and I'm thankful for our Second Amendment right. I'm thankful for our right to free speech. So I'd like to read you some of this article, and again, this is published by the New York Times. Very alarming. Listen up. Rather, much of the gap in how these two countries handle contentious policy questions comes down to something that can feel invisible amid day-to-day politicking, but may be just as important as the issues themselves, the structures of their political systems. So the author of this article acknowledges that we do have historical differences, that we do have vast cultural differences, and he goes on to say that our checks and balances, the fact that we have a president, we have the House of Representatives, and a Senate is something to our detriment because it creates deadlock rather than something that preserves freedom here. He's praising the fact that Justin Trudeau, simply because he's part of a parliamentary system, he's able to just get his subordinates and their allies on board, and he can enact whatever he wants, no matter how sweeping. Now, even though this is Canada, it's not here what's happening now, it's scary to me that so many people are praising this and even saying they're questioning our system. They're questioning the very foundation of what preserves our freedom. That's so scary to me. We have so many people in this country that don't understand how our government works, why it was set up the way it has, and people who are willing to vote away their rights. There are people in Canada who are celebrating the fact that their rights are just being ripped out from under them. They're asking and they're applauding when their rights are being taken away. And it's scary because here on a day-to-day basis, just hop on any social media platform and you'll see people here begging for the exact same thing. Even if you want something different, and even if somebody wants to have discourse about guns, speech, whatever it may be, we cannot allow ourselves to start to undercut the structure. We cannot allow ourselves to undercut the legislative processes that we have in place so that we can both have what we want and still preserve our freedom. And more people are saying that the ends justify the means without realizing one day that the government can come knock on your door and take away your rights, take away something that's important to you. And by the way, the Second Amendment isn't something that's just important to me. I'm very tired of hearing that people are just saying that we just fetishize guns and that we just have some weird sick obsession with guns, when that's not the case. I know very well how important it is to be able to defend myself, but more than that, our Second Amendment was created to protect ourselves against tyranny. And it's terrifying when I see these people like Nancy Pelosi want to enact an assault weapons ban when we know that from 1994 to 2004, when we had the previous assault weapons ban, that had no difference whatsoever. So it's scary. I'm sad for the state of our country. As Ben Franklin famously said, that we have a republic if we can keep it. So I just want to share this with all of you. If you know anybody who is a gun owner, but they're saying, maybe we do need some more restrictions, and you don't know how to respond to that, please stay plugged into our channel. We're gonna be pumping out a really great series to help equip you to talk about these things. And don't be afraid to engage with it yourself. Don't be fearful. Don't feel like you're shut down and you can't talk about why the Second Amendment is important to you. Invite them to a gun shop. We are like the church of the Second Amendment here in Frederick, Maryland, here at the Machine Gun Nest, and we want to help change minds because the facts are simply on our side. Stay plugged in and hit subscribe.